Well, Smitty, let's cut to the chase. What's the swingers situation like these days?
The swinging scene is, as good as ever. In fact, we've gotten a couple more groups since the last time that I talked to you.
A couple more groups? Not like a couple more people? A couple more groups?
No, just a couple more groups that have sprouted up. Some of these people, they run, I told you before, they run these Facebook groups. And so there's probably, right off the top of my head, I think 5 or 6 now here in town. I mean, there's a lot of people that are, crossed over into all the different groups. But there's a lot of new people coming in. I'll tell you that, Dougie.
Really? And what age range?
I would say the age range is, man, you talk about younger people coming in. If I had to guess an average, I would probably say 35.
Oh, that seems very young.
I'm pretty shocked at the amount of even younger people than that are trying to. I'm talking about like newlyweds that are in their 20s.
That's the risk of these phone call-centric Thursdays. But in our case, there's so many callers. Right now we have Ben the Butcher and his wife. So we have a real life. It's just another female caller.
Butcher.
Right.
Yeah.
Morning, boys.
Hello, Ben.
So there is no woman next to me. That was a ruse.
Oh.
Why?
Yeah, I have to clarify that it's Ben the Butcher, not Benny the Butcher. That is a prolific hip-hop artist.
Oh.
Sounds like JR. I know it isn't.
So say that again?
I said you sound like Jeremy Rutherford, which is a
well,
compliment.
Good. He's sitting right next to me. We're taking a dump in a steak and shake right now.
Okay, watch it.
Holding hands.
Watch it.
Wasn't Benny the Butcher on The Sopranos?
No. So Benny the Butcher is a rap artist. There was Benny, and I guess he was a butcher on the show, so I guess by association, you're right, Iggy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a couple things, Doug. That 10% of your brain thing is not accurate.
How do you know? You a neurosurgeon?
Because I use like 75% of my brain, and so I know that.
How do you know how much percentage of your brain
I just
you use?
Googled it after you said it, and it's not accurate.
So how much of our brain do we use?
Oh, well, it didn't go into that. It just said you're wrong. So,
Okay.
There's not much more figuring out
Yeah, I guess
that.
that's the end of that story. We use every bit of our brain. That's not that funny.
We use every single bit of it.
I'm kind of confused by the popper situation in general.
It's Jackson, I'll tell you, it was the stupidest thing. It's like taking LSD for 30 seconds.
Really? I thought the point of it was to kind of loosen up your back portal.
Oh, Bill!
I don't know. All I know is you feel really great for about 30 seconds, then it wears off, and you got the worst headache in the world the next morning.
Why would you do that?
Isn't it like huffing paint?
Well, we call it amyl nitrate. It wasn't called poppers back then, but
Anal?
amyl.
Oh, amyl. Amyl?
Amyl nitrate.
Vince Shamel.
Amyl nitrate.
What's amyl mean?
I don't know. Or is it called anal nitrate?
I don't know.
I thought that's what it was, and I thought it was just to kind of loosen you up.
So it's taken to loosen your sphincter?
Crap and pancakes.
Didn't do that for me. Just maybe.
Why would you lose control like that and take recreational drugs?
I never lost control.
You don't.
That is losing control when you're taking that.
I think that's an
it's not.
opinion,
Yes, it
though.
is.
That's an
it
opinion.
is. It is
Yes.
not.
Why do
Yeah,
people
it
drink,
is.
Doug?
To take
Why do people drink?
Again, because they're losing control.
But they do it to feel good
lack of
and have a
discipline.
good time and not get overly drunk. Cocaine didn't do anything to me that made me, well, it just made me talk a lot. It didn't make
Are
me.
you still on it?
Doug, you just did a step back jumper from like three-quarter court.
That was more of Pippin on you,
Oh,
Iggy.
that was a good one. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, I got me laid at a
Use that
wedding.
for a promo.
Work for him.
Oh, God.
But he owns property in, I think, Naples or outside of Naples. He's in Italy like 6 months out
This
of
is
the year.
Polo.
This is Mike Prosper.
From Emo's Pizza, he got all that cash.
Yeah, I'm sure he made some investments too. But his dad made statues.
Polo.
Yeah, and he had these flyers, and they had a pool table in their basement, and he put all these pages to the flyers around the table. And after school, he'd let us come by, and there'd be like 30 pages, and you have to go around the pool table, grab one, and then put them in the packet. He'd give us a penny for every one we did. And if we did 100, we made $1, and we thought we were rich. But anyway, I don't even know what I was talking
A
about.
packet for what?
Yeah.
What were these pictures
This
going
has become
into?
a story where I don't even
It
know
was
the
like all
beginning.
the different sculptures he had, and you could buy them. And he, they didn't have internet back then, so you had to stand up things.
Jackson, multiple requests from Polo Prosper.
Oh, yeah,
I see in the
yeah.
text
I don't even
inbox.
remember
I got
why I
one.
brought Mike Prosperi up. What were we talking about?
You were the one who brought it up.
We have no idea.
But it was tying into
He
something.
had the emos in Kirkwood.
But what we were talking before that?
I don't know.
God, I brought up so many stories about Polo and Mike. I forgot what I was talking about.
How do you think Emo's Pizza would play in Naples, Italy?
I think it'd go great. I love Emo's Pizza.
So do I. I think there's something to like being from St. Louis and growing up with it.
I don't even think pizza was invented in Italy.
That's a take.
Where's the gloves?
Where
do you think it was
I'm
invented?
putting the mittens on.
I don't think it was invented in Italy.
Well,
Look it
we're-
up.
God.
What was I
Eating
talking
hot
about?
take
Prosperi. It pisses me off because I was going to tell a story. and
Well,
can't-
I don't know.
Oh,
Pizza-
Pizza is a
Well-
dish of Italian origin consisting of usually round, flat base of leavened wheat-based dough.
I wouldn't believe that.
Right.
Why wouldn't you believe it?
We were talking about shooting.
Polo Prosperi.
You
invented
shot
it.
Mike Prosperi?
No, when I said we would, a lot of weekends we go down to Mike Prosperi's parents' farm,
Polo owned it
Polo and his wife.
from the sculptures
And
that you put the.
so we went hunting one
pamphlets
day.
together.
We went hunting one day.
Okay.
And they had 12 gauges. And all I had was they gave me a pellet gun.
What are we?
They didn't trust you with the shotgun.
I'd never
Are
been
we
hunting
on
before.
poppers?
No, I'd never been hunting before.
Man, I had terrible pizza when I was in Italy last year, but April? I mean, it's some of the worst pizza I've ever had.
Really?
It was nothing but a piece of flat bread with some sauce slathered on it and a couple pieces of melted cheese. That was it.
Was it like Neapolitan style?
I don't know what that is. What's Neapolitan style pizza?
It's tough to describe. Definitely not like American. The pieces
I can't
themselves
turn
are
Facebook on.
smaller.
It's just always got some kind of.
Right, Eldridge.
Yeah.
I had my sound off, but I opened something
You
up
didn't
on Facebook.
have the sound off
You didn't
because
know
the sound
is
played.
on.
No, Tim, look.
We play this game all the
It's
time.
all the way down.
Jackson, don't we play this a lot?
Yeah. I mean, there's two volumes on your phone.
Guys, this is like if you combined a Lee May happy hour with the corner table at Delmar Gardens. Make it stop!
Oh!
That's from Arbor Day, who won Texture of the Year, presented to you by
You
Milagro.
didn't enjoy the Mike
Tequila.
Prosperi story?
I don't know where the Prosperi story started and the shooting story ended.
Shooting. I asked if he'd ever been skeet shooting, and it got around to Polo Prosperi.
I can't.
There goes the sound again. I heard an
Can't
do
accordion.
I can't look at his things.
Is he
Every one of them is a video, and I can't
a
turn
video
the
of him
Facebook stuff.
playing the squeeze box?
No, what I have to do.
Dotem, Doug, sent in an email yesterday, but it was an audio email, and we didn't get a chance to play it. But I know you said you wanted to hear it in the 8 o'clock
I
hour,
didn't
so
say
here,
that.
here you go.
I normally don't get too excited when my father-in-law calls me and invites us over for supper, but he said he spent the whole morning topless on the Merrimack River, and he caught a fish so juicy that I just needed to taste it for myself. When I entered his double wide, he ushered me into the bathroom to help him put the final seasonings onto his dish. He lifted the seat to the toilet and scraped a few crispy shrubs from the rim into the pungent boy stew that had been injecting flavor into the meat for the last 6 hours.
I didn't see any logs floating.
That asparagus broth is unbelievable. Come over, I'll spray you with some.
Oh.
You filthy boy slut.
Bill began to crown. My chest began to brown.
You know what you ought to do, Rich? You ought to get your own show on 590 The Man. Are you man enough, sir?
Well, absolutely. Of course I am, fellas. But is the station man enough to man up and put the man on the station?
Doug?
The deeper I go, the deeper he moans. Think about it, Doug. That comes from
Bryce Chandler Hill.
AKA
God.
Tunnels 12,000.
Would you like me to take off my boy panties? Gosh. Hello, Shruzy.
How's it going, gang?
Fine. You?
I'm good. I'm actually calling. I have to use my work phone because I have that AT&T outage. Does everybody else have that problem?
Yeah, I keep seeing that. AT&T phones aren't
Yeah,
working
Doug
today.
was talking about that in the break.
Yeah, so hopefully nobody listens into this call for my work, but we'll find out later, I guess. But I had two questions real quick, or one comment, one question. First, that
Yanni's hottest mom, just an interesting fact about him.
Mm-hmm.
Him and I went to Paris together, just the two of us as single gentlemen. What do you think of that, Doug?
I like that.
Well,
City of Love.
how old were you at the time?
Oh, we were in our 20s. We were well into our romantic phase, but we were single men and we wanted to go. And I just remember, you go out on a stroll at night and then you look at the Eiffel Tower and you look over and there's your bald friend and you start to look better and better each night. So,
For heaven's sakes. I was going to cut you some slack as a couple college kids looking for a European adventure. It wasn't. That's not what it was, huh?
A little burgundy in you.
nope, it was not that at all. But yeah, we went to the Yanni together and we made it through. So we're pretty smart guys.
Yeah, you have to be. You have to
right to St. John's County right there.
I had a quick question though about the skeleton. I don't listen to it all the way through, but I didn't know. Do you guys have any spread your legs guys stuff on there?
Spready, Doug, remember him?
You sure?
100%.
I enjoyed him. Yeah.
There is in there.
Yeah, his original call, where at one point Iggy said that he would rather give Plowsy a handy than kiss him, is in the system.
Nice.
I said that?
Oh, yeah. To be fair, it was the peak time of COVID, and it was more of a safety thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sure. It was medicinal.
What happened to him, do you think?
He said he doesn't have the internet, so he couldn't make a move over. I'm not joking. That's what he told me. He said, I don't have internet access, so I can't listen to you guys anymore.
Well, what does that got to do with the phone?
Well, he's not going to call in if he can't hear it.
Well, doesn't he have an app?
No, he doesn't have the internet.
On his phone? He doesn't have internet for his phone either?
He doesn't have internet. Yeah, he doesn't. It's what he told me. I don't know.
Well, he doesn't know where we are anyway.
Yeah, I think my dad used to listen, but once you guys switched to HD2, I don't think he could figure
Can't
it
find
out.
it. No, it's hard.
Yeah, and plus I'm kind of glad he doesn't listen because sometimes I'll call or text in something about how cute my brother is, and I think that would really make him upset. So
I think so, yeah.
Mr. Licks is sending in his examples. I guess he's presenting a case, and there's a screenshot of a guy who ordered, so I ordered a 5 with extra mayonnaise. Now I'm afraid to eat it. And it's a picture of his Jimmy John sandwich.
Jesus.
That is a boomer meme.
Oh, yeah, because it's not even... Man. Whatever people think is funny typically isn't. I think in this situation, it's 100% accurate.
I want to echo what Mr. Smith said during his phone call. The people associated with TMA are some of the nicest people I've come across in my life. I was lucky enough to interact with the hosts at the year-end awards, and I was blown away by how laid back everyone is. Doug, Plowsy, Iggy, KG, and Jackson were each so down-to-earth and pleasant. Tim even let me make eye contact with him while we were chatting. He didn't have to do that, but those baby blues restored my faith in humanity and made the blood rush to my loins. And the listeners? Don't forget about the listeners. Yes, we say some vile things as a goof, but deep down, the listeners I've interacted with at TMA Live events are also incredibly genuine people, even if a drunk glass installer tried to finger my brown hole.
Oh.
Additionally, I've met a few members of the Hubbard staff, and they could not be more kind, generous, or helpful, especially Jessie Kiowski. She's such a delight. It's nice to see that TMA has landed somewhere as nice as Hubbard with professional, courteous people supporting the show. Furthermore, thank you to everyone on the dais for routinely brightening my day with your playful banter. If it were up to me, you guys would have already been given a YouTube Lifetime Achievement plaque. It's from the JV golf coach. Doug, what a lovely sentiment.
Gosh, we all want plaques.